The Toyota GR86 is one of those cars that doesn't just exist to fill a gap in the lineup or to be another product on the showroom floor. It exists because of passion, because of history, and because Toyota wanted to bring back that raw, driver-focused excitement that has been missing from so many modern cars. In a world where cars are becoming more digital, more controlled, more filtered through computers and technology, the GR86 arrives as a refreshing reminder of what it means to connect to a machine and to the road. It is a sports car in the purest sense, and it carries forward the philosophy that a car doesn't need massive horsepower or complicated electronics to deliver a thrilling experience. Instead, it relies on balance, lightweight construction, sharp handling, and that feeling of engagement that car enthusiasts crave. This is a car built with the driver in mind, a car that wants you to push it, to learn its character, and to fall in love with driving all over again. The story of the Toyota GR86 really begins with the first generation 86, a car that itself was a modern revival of a classic idea. Back in the 1980s, Toyota had a car called the A86, part of the Corolla family, and that car became legendary. It wasn't the most powerful car, it wasn't the most expensive, but it had a reputation for handling, for balance, and for being fun in a way that more serious sports cars sometimes couldn't match. The A86 became an icon in motorsports, in drifting, and in car culture around the world. It was immortalized in Japanese car culture and even in anime like Initial D, where it became the hero car for a generation of enthusiasts. That spirit carried forward into the modern 86 that Toyota released in collaboration with Subaru in the early 2010s, a car that immediately caught attention for being lightweight, rear-wheel drive, affordable, and focused entirely on the joy of driving rather than chasing horsepower numbers. The GR86 is the successor to that car, the next evolution, refined and sharpened, but still true to its original mission. When you first look at the Toyota GR86, you can see how the designers wanted to give it a sharper, more aggressive look compared to the first generation. The car sits low, wide, and purposeful. The proportions are classic sports car, a long hood, a short rear deck, and a low-slung stance that makes it look ready to pounce. The headlights are sleek and modern, giving it a more serious and athletic appearance, while the wide grille and sculpted front bumper make it look more mature and performance-oriented. Every line on the body seems to serve a purpose, not just for style but for aerodynamics, for channeling air, for stability at speed. The car isn't over-designed, it's simple, clean, and athletic, which is fitting for its philosophy. At the rear, the taillights are sharper and more modern than the first generation, and the dual exhaust tips remind you that this is a car designed for enthusiasts. It's not flashy for the sake of being flashy, but it has that perfect balance of style and sportiness that makes you want to look back at it every time you park. Open the door and sit inside, and the GR86 continues to deliver that sense of purpose. The interior is driver-focused, simple, and functional. Toyota and Subaru clearly work to make sure that everything you need for driving is easily accessible and uncluttered. The driving position is low and sporty, the steering wheel is small and direct, and the pedals are positioned perfectly for enthusiasts who want to practice heel and toe downshifts. The seats are snug and supportive, designed to hold you in place during spirited driving, but still comfortable enough for daily use. The dashboard is straightforward, with a digital display that gives you all the information you need without being overwhelming. There's just the right amount of technology, modern enough to satisfy today's needs, with features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but not so much that it takes away from the pure driving experience. This is not a car weighed down by endless menus and screens, it's a car where you can get in, turn the key, and focus on driving. Of course, the heart of the Toyota GR86 is its engine and the way it delivers performance. Under the hood is a 2.4-liter naturally aspirated flat-4 engine, developed with Subaru. This engine replaces the old 2.0-liter unit from the first generation, and the increase in displacement makes a big difference. Power is now up to around 228 horsepower, and torque is stronger too, at 184 pound-feet. On paper, these numbers might not sound outrageous compared to some turbocharged competitors, but the way the GR86 delivers its power is what makes it special. The old 2.0-liter engine was often criticized for its torque dip in the mid-range, which made the car feel a little sluggish unless you were really pushing it. The new 2.4-liter engine fixes that problem, giving you stronger torque throughout the rev range, making the car feel more responsive and lively in everyday driving as well as on the track. It revs happily, it loves to be pushed, and it delivers that old-school naturally aspirated character that so many enthusiasts miss in today's world of turbocharged engines. It may not have the big numbers, but it has character, and that's what makes it so enjoyable. The transmission choices also reflect the GR86's driver-focused nature. You can get it with a 6-speed manual, which is the choice for purists, or with a 6-speed automatic for those who prefer convenience. The manual gearbox is a delight, with short, precise throws that make every shift feel mechanical and satisfying. It's the kind of transmission that makes you want to drive just for the sake of shifting gears, just for the sake of hearing the engine climb through the revs. The clutch is light enough to be manageable in traffic, but still communicative enough to make performance driving engaging. The automatic, while not as pure in experience, is improved from the previous generation, with quicker shifts and paddle shifters that give you some control. For those who need it, it makes the GR86 a more versatile car, but the manual is truly where this car shines. Driving dynamics are, of course, the reason the GR86 exists. The car is built on a lightweight platform, with rear-wheel drive and a focus on balance and handling above all else. The chassis is stiffer than the first generation, improving stability and responsiveness. The suspension is tuned to deliver sharp turn-in and confidence in the corners, while still being comfortable enough to live with day to day. The steering is quick and precise, giving you a direct connection to the road that is becoming increasingly rare in modern cars. This is a car that encourages you to push it into corners, to explore its limits, and to enjoy the process of driving. It's forgiving enough for newcomers to rear-wheel drive sports cars, but rewarding enough for experienced drivers to appreciate its nuances. The balance between grip and playfulness is spot on. You can drive it cleanly through a corner, or you can kick the tail out and enjoy some controlled oversteer if you're in the mood. It's this dual personality that makes the GR86 so special. It's fun at any speed, whether you're carving up a mountain road or just commuting through town. But the GR86 isn't just about performance, it's also about accessibility. One of the key goals for Toyota and Subaru in developing this car was to make an affordable sports car that young enthusiasts could actually buy. In today's market, so many performance cars are priced out of reach for the average buyer, but the GR86 offers an experience that rivals much more expensive cars at a fraction of the price. It's a car that proves you don't need six figures to have fun behind the wheel. This accessibility is part of what makes the GR86 so important in today's car landscape. It's a car that can bring new people into the world of performance driving, that can inspire the next generation of enthusiasts, just like the A86 did decades ago. Of course, being a modern car, the GR86 isn't completely bare bones. It comes with modern safety features like adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and pre-collision braking when equipped with the automatic transmission. These features make it easier to live with as a daily driver, giving you that peace of mind while still keeping the focus on driving enjoyment. The manual transmission cars are a little more old school in this regard, but that's part of their charm as well. The balance between modern convenience and pure driving focus is well executed. Where the GR86 also stands out is in the way it connects to car culture. Toyota has positioned it not just as a car to sell, but as a car to be celebrated. It's part of the Gazoo racing family, alongside cars like the GR Supra and the GR Corolla, and it carries that same badge of performance and passion. Enthusiasts see it as a canvas, a car that invites modification, tuning, and personalization. Just like the A86, the GR86 is already becoming popular in motorsports, in drifting, and in tuning communities. It's a car that owners want to make their own, and that sense of community is a huge part of its appeal. Toyota knows this, and they've leaned into it, offering accessories, supporting racing programs, and encouraging enthusiasts to engage with the car in their own way. The Toyota GR86 is not a car that tries to be everything to everyone. It's not the fastest, it's not the most luxurious, it's not the most high-tech. But that's exactly the point. It knows what it is. A lightweight, rear-wheel drive sports car that exists to make driving fun. It's a car that doesn't apologize for being simple, because in that simplicity lies its magic. It's a reminder of why so many people fell in love with cars in the first place, and in today's world, that makes it incredibly special. Perfect. The Toyota GR86 carries a kind of purity that is increasingly rare in modern cars. When you sit behind the wheel and start the engine, there's this immediate sense of intimacy between you and the machine. The flat-4 engine fires up with a growl that is neither too loud nor too quiet, just the right amount of mechanical tone to let you know that you are in something that values the joy of driving. The throttle response is sharp, and because the engine is naturally aspirated, there is no turbo lag, no delay, just a smooth, linear delivery of power that makes you feel completely in control. In an era when so many cars are chasing horsepower wars, the GR86 reminds us that what really matters is how that power is delivered and how it makes you feel when you use it. When you pull away in first gear, the car feels light on its feet. The clutch engages smoothly, the shifter slots into gear with a satisfying precision, and the steering gives you immediate feedback from the road. This is not an isolated, numb driving experience. This is a car that communicates, that talks to you through the wheel, the pedals, and even through the seat of your pants. You feel the weight transfer as you accelerate, brake, and turn, and this feedback gives you confidence to explore the car's limits. The GR86 is often described as one of the best driver's cars of its generation, not because it's the most powerful, but because it makes the driver feel like a part of the experience, like a co-pilot rather than just a passenger pressing pedals. Take it into the corners and the magic becomes even clearer. The balance of this car is remarkable. With its engine mounted low and towards the front, and power going to the rear wheels, the GR86 has that classic sports car formula that delivers both stability and agility. The suspension tuning is a work of art, firm enough to keep the car planted and responsive, but not so harsh that it beats you up on daily commutes. On a twisty road, the car feels alive, darting into corners eagerly, holding its line with composure, and then powering out with just enough torque to make you smile. If you push harder, the rear end can step out playfully, but it does so progressively, giving you plenty of warning and plenty of control. This makes the GR86 not only fun for experienced drivers but also a great learning tool for those who want to understand the dynamics of rear-wheel drive sports cars. One of the most talked about aspects of the GR86 is its accessibility to drifting. Thanks to its balanced chassis, limited slip differential, and manageable power, it's one of the best entry-level cars for those who want to learn the art of oversteer. You don't need massive horsepower to slide this car, you just need timing, technique, and a willingness to practice. This is why the GR86 is already finding its way into drift events and grassroots motorsports, just like its predecessor. Toyota has built a car that isn't just fun on the street but is also a natural fit for the track, for autocross, for drifting, for anything that involves pure driving enjoyment. But the GR86 isn't just about high adrenaline driving. Part of its charm is that it can also settle down and be a normal, usable car when you need it to. It has a trunk that can fit luggage or even a spare set of track tires if you want to hit a race day. It has rear seats, though small, that can be used in a pinch or folded down for more cargo space. It gets respectable fuel economy for a sports car, especially when you're just cruising. This dual nature, being both a thrilling sports car and a practical daily driver, is part of what makes it so appealing to a wide range of buyers. It's not a car you need to leave in the garage except for weekends, it's a car you can enjoy every single day. The sound of the GR86 is another element worth appreciating. The flat-4 engine has a unique character compared to inline 4s or version 6s, and while it may not be the loudest or most exotic sound, it has a rawness and honesty to it. Enthusiasts often talk about the soundtrack of a car, and in the GR86, that soundtrack is part of the immersive driving experience. It's not overly filtered or artificial, it's just the natural note of the engine, especially when paired with the manual transmission where you control exactly how it revs and when it shifts. For many drivers, that sound becomes addictive, encouraging them to push just a little harder, to rev just a little higher, simply because it feels so satisfying. Toyota and Subaru didn't just improve the performance of the new GR86, they also improved its refinement. The first generation was a fantastic car, but some criticized it for feeling a little too barebones or unpolished. The new GR86 keeps the raw spirit but adds a layer of maturity. The cabin materials are better, the ride quality is more comfortable, and the technology is up to modern expectations without going overboard. This makes the car more appealing not just to hardcore enthusiasts but also to people who want something that feels like a complete package. It's still affordable, still focused on driving, but now it feels like a car that can truly compete in today's market while retaining its unique philosophy. Another important part of the GR86 story is its partnership with Subaru. This collaboration has been essential in making the car possible. Toyota brought the vision and the heritage of the AE86, while Subaru contributed their expertise with boxer engines and all-wheel drive platforms. Together, they created a car that neither company could have built alone. Some people question why Toyota, one of the biggest automakers in the world, would need a partner to build a relatively small sports car, but the truth is that these types of cars are not massive money makers. They're passion projects, and partnerships like this make them financially viable. For enthusiasts, it doesn't matter who built what matters is that the car exists, and that it delivers on its promise. And the GR86 absolutely does. The aftermarket potential of the GR86 is another reason it's generating so much excitement. Just like the previous 86 and the A86 before it, this car is a blank canvas for modification. Enthusiasts are already upgrading suspension, adding turbochargers or superchargers, customizing exhausts, and creating track-focused builds. The GR86's affordability means that many owners will have money left over to personalize it, and this keeps the car relevant in the tuning community. It's a car that encourages creativity, that becomes a reflection of its owner's personality and driving style. That's something that few cars in today's market can offer. Toyota understands this culture, and that's why they've been leaning heavily into their Gazoo racing brand. By putting the GR badge on the 86, Toyota is signaling that this isn't just another car, it's part of a family of performance machines that includes the GR Supra, the GR Yaris, and the GR Corolla. This creates an ecosystem of cars that enthusiasts can aspire to, but the GR86 is the most accessible entry point. It's the car that says, you don't need to spend a fortune to be part of the performance family. This identity strengthens its appeal and gives it a place in Toyota's lineup that is more about passion than profit. Special thanks